Okay guys, welcome to the first deliberation where we decide the top 20. So we have some really great entries and some really weak entries too. So if we just start with giving a few pointers and comments and then we move on to the votes. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Works for me.
So the first one that I really had a comment on was Ty. I really like his low register. He has one of the most beautiful voices to me, and I also think he got a slightly better mic this time. That was real pleasant to hear.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was definitely, I'm glad we kept him because he had a really bad mic the first time, but this time it was a lot clearer. There's a few pitch problems for me, but other than that, he's got a really nice tone that I like listening to.
Yeah.
Very challenging song to take on as well.
Yeah. What do we think about Heather? I think her tempo was so off, but I think she has too strong of a voice to let go this early.
Yeah, I think you got the timing issues, and the whole thing maybe sounded a bit timid, but still she managed to salvage something half decent out of it. So, got to say props for that. And you can easily see how the improvement can come in a short space of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of weak, to be honest. She got stronger in the middle, but there were pitch and phrasing problems for me. And I don't know just how much improving she could do in such a short amount of time. But, you know, I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible, so.
I actually thought you were gonna be real against this, Mark, because you always talk about timing. But
Yeah, and there's a couple of things in it that bugged me, to be completely honest. And there are things that jump out at me, but I'm thinking, even though these are here, it's still not bad. And later rounds, of course, I would have ripped that to shreds. But if we're still trying to, get a fair number through at least this stage, then I can see plenty of potential to keep her in.
Yeah.
Wow, he's turning Paula Abdul on us.
So I'm not her anymore. Now it's someone else's turn.
No, I feel like I'm going to be Simon this season. I really am, because I couldn't get over the phrasing problems. But
Yeah.
I mean, the timing problems were just bugging me just a little too much, I guess.
Yeah, it almost seemed like she wasn't even listening to the song while recording because the timing was so off at some places.
Yeah.
If you record it through Audacity, you can actually see the wavelength, so you know when it's your cue. So that's a tip for the future if she goes on.
I mentioned Audacity myself in one of these notes. And I guess that's the one thing that I guess I could say for everybody. It's not just for one particular contestant. A lot of people are either, it sounds like they're singing with like the computer playing it and then they're just singing over the music into the recording. When you use Audacity, it's a free download. You just go to Audacity. I think it's audacity.com. I'm not 100% sure. You could Google the word.
I even have the link in my tips document that no one seems to read.
All you have to do is you upload the song to Audacity, and then you can sing along with your recorder, put on a pair of headphones, get your good microphone, and sing along, and it records into, and then you can mix it, and you can make the sound so that it's even, and it sounds like more like a professional recording. But right now it sounds like someone's playing it on their boombox and trying to record it on a separate device in some places. So please, guys, use Audacity. It's going to help you in the long run, especially if you want to do singing as something like, as a hobby or even professionally. You got to have some of the equipment. So there's my PSA of the day.
Okay, so that wasn't for one particular contestant.
You know what? There was a lot of people that I think really aren't using Audacity or maybe don't know how to mix.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to use all of the features, or they're just not using the program. And so I think it kind of goes out for pretty much every contestant that's going to get through to the next round. Please utilize Audacity.
Or a better program.
I mean, if you got money to spend on a program, or if you find a better free program, but Audacity is a good program because it's free and you can do a lot with it.
And it's easy to use.
Yeah.
So do you have anyone...
hold on one.
Sorry? What happened to Andrea?
God, it's freaking Halloween. It's got to be Halloween. Okay, sorry. Where were we?
What happened to your voice, Andrea? It got really low.
That's creepy.
What is going on? What do you mean what is going on?
What's going on? Where is Andrea?
Oh my God, I swear, I heard somebody yelling for help. And that's when I ran up because I thought it was my mom in the other room. I just kept hearing somebody yell, help, help.
Andrea.
And then when I get back, my microphone's nuts.
Andrea, I think you have been possessed by a demon or something.
Why does it sound that bad?
Because your voice is kind of low, like a man almost.
Hold on. What? Hold on.
I guess this could be your new voice.
No.
It's like Tess is judging again. What's going on?
Yeah. Should we just go like this?
No, it sounds terrible.
Okay. I'm recording again.
Me too.
Yes, you're back to normal. What the hell happened here?
I don't know.
That was
okay, but we're good now.
Yeah, okay. Oof. Let's just move on from that traumatic experience. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, right. Mark, it's your turn to begin.
Yeah, do we want to be nice here, or do we want to tear someone a new one?
Oh God, he's gonna. Let's be honest. We'll just be honest.
Honesty is key.
Yeah.
Okay, so a certain someone used a star last week. A certain
Are you talking
someone
about me?
that used a stack ton of reverb, and then they come in with another audition that has too much reverb in it.
Yes, Mark.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I was so gonna rip her apart. But I mean, not only did she not listen to my one request, which was my whole requirement for giving the star, but she sang so off pitch that I don't know what this was. She just loves reverb. She can't let it go.
It is. I said, you know what? She's got a nice voice, but damn that echo effect again. We were so clear in that last round. I mean, and it doesn't enhance her voice. It does exactly the opposite. It just enhances all of the keys that were off. And I mean, she's got a nice voice, but she can't take direction. So how can we keep her going? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't regret giving the star because I think she deserved a chance, but she just didn't use the chance. And
I mean, we were clear. We were pretty clear on that.
I was so clear. I mean, we talked for 2-3 minutes about just the reverb, and what does she do? Use more reverb.
Yeah.
I'm
glad he said it and that it wasn't me. So
yeah, at least it was a little better, but she should have just listened.
Yeah, I'm glad Mark said it first though.
So now we have tore some guys apart here. So let's bring something positive into the mix. I think Christopher had a really nice entry. That actually really touched me. It was his original song. It had so much emotion. So that was a really solid entry in my eyes.
Yep, I really like that country twang. I think he's got a nice voice. I think he overpowers himself a little bit. But other than that, that's something that could be worked on. Just get a little more control. But I really do love his voice too.
Getting a real sort of Three Doors Down kind of vibe from the songwriting, but then it's got that country edge to it as well, which is a little bit different. Which, really impressive stuff though. I'm liking it.
Yeah. So what do we think about Ray? Well, I think she is really good. She is really good. She just needs a bit of dry reverb on the main vocals. But it seems like she got a new mic, which is always positive.
Yeah, I did say her mic was much improved, so the sound quality is better. And now I can really hear she does have a very pretty quality in her voice, which I do like.
See, she started out as one of my maybes, actually, that I've upgraded to a yes. I think I was being a little bit harsh to begin with. The verse was a no.
Do you mean
I know.
In this
round?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in this round I had a maybe to begin with, and I've upgraded it because the verse was a no from me, but then the chorus kicks in and that pulled me right back in, and it's kind of later stages, if only like half the song, is going to be a problem, but for now, again, has plenty of potential, so I'm happy to see it go forward.
Yeah.
So now it's time for my little PSA for the day. I don't have much patience with a cappella entries because 1, it shows no effort, and 2, it's usually boring to listen to, and 3, I have no proof they are able to make good covers. This early, it's supposed to be a taste of what they're going to bring in the future. I'm not going to want to listen to a cappella entries throughout the show. That is only for the casting round. So as far as I'm concerned, everyone who sent an a cappella entries out, maybe except for like one person, but they just made no effort at all to learn when they had 10 days for the first round. And I don't buy the excuse that I'm not tech savvy because there's a tutorial in the tips document and they had mentors at their disposal. I am looking for the 12 contestants who are going to be the most committed. You don't have to be perfect overnight, but an effort is needed. So please read the tips document if you are a beginner.
And again, Audacity is free and it's so easy to use. I mean, it's so easy that even if you're not, I am not tech savvy, and even I can mix with Audacity, so.
And I'm also disappointed with the short entries that are like 1 minute. I'm like, why? Where's the rest? They had 2 minutes and, well. I just don't get it.
Yeah. Well, see, okay, now let's go. I'm going to be the mean one, because Mark can't be the mean one all the time. No, but you were getting there. I was just about to say, wow, I don't think I've ever seen you that angry before. But let's start with Scarlet.
It's because I believe in all of them or most of them, and then they
exactly,
don't do.
But do you guys? I don't know if anybody else has a comment on Scarlet, but I think Scarlet has a nice voice, but there was a lot of pitch issues. It doesn't sound like she really knew the song, or maybe she was really rushing to get it done. I know that there's a deadline now, guys, but just so you know, it's like 10 days. So that doesn't mean you have to get it done now. Make sure it's 100% the absolute best you could do, even if you have to submit it just under the wire. As long as you're on time, you're on time. So please, utilize the time you do have to know the song, polish it up, get it really good. And then there was that harmonizing part that just fell flat. Well, actually, it went sharp, but then it went flat again, and then it was kind of off pitch, so I don't know. What did anybody else think of Scarlet? Am I just being too tough on her?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's some nice, light, airy tones in there, but the main thing that I was lacking from that entry was some real body behind it, which I think is something that we've had it in the past in the previous versions. When someone has a nice, light, airy, fairy voice, it's great and it's useful, but to have the real versatility, you then need to be able to put some weight behind it as well when the song calls for it.
Yeah,
there
was a lot of issues. There was really?
Yes, I actually did. She was a strong yes for me.
Really?
I had 18 strong yeses and 2 maybes.
It literally sounded like she recorded it the very minute she picked the song and then said, screw it, it's good enough, and sent it in. I mean,
maybe
literally, it sounded so rushed and so, like I said, it didn't even sound like she really knew the song or even the bare bones of the song, and it just was off pitch, and the harmonizing was totally off. I don't know where that would be a hard yes. I mean, a maybe okay, but a hard yes.
I'm gonna have to listen to it again then, because I don't have it in my head right now. But let's save that for last, when we're revealing our votes. Oh, that's gonna be scary. Okay. Brianna, it's a bit of a shame that she has such a bad mic, but her singing is phenomenal. I love her vibrato, and I think I actually got chills at some point, so I liked it.
I think she does have a pretty voice. The mic is a downfall. There were some pitch issues in the beginning, but she really found herself in the middle, but the mic is gonna muffle the tonality of her voice. If she could afford to upgrade, it would sound so much better. If she can't afford to upgrade, then how is she gonna compete with the strong top 12 who have good mics, depending on who they are? I don't know.
Yeah.
The song choice kind of got me as well. It was a good cover, but I didn't really enjoy listening to it either. Like, if you cover Young MJ, it gives you an excuse to just pass off and deal with a bit of an immature voice, which, Soul playing the records over his time when he was younger, but I'm not sure it's conducive to the best covers as such.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, well, like I've said before, my standards at this point aren't maybe as high as yours, because we don't have to decide the top 12 until next round.
Well, yeah. But I mean, if we're going to be dealing with technical issues one week after another, how far do we want them to go?
Yeah.
If they're not willing to put in maybe a little bit extra to get a really good mic or borrow a mic, like they could go, I don't know if you guys got high schools or whatever around you, but go to their auditorium, see if they have any, like a USB mic that they use for recording, because there's a lot of, like, the chorale, sometimes they'll use mics to mix songs for a CD that they sometimes sell at Christmas. I mean, so go to your, AV group or whatever at your school and see if they have one that they can lend you if you can't afford to buy a mic, or check online and see if you have any family or friends with a better mic. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay money, but without a good mic, there really is no point in singing, because all it does is just muffle your voice anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And on that point, Colin's mic really let him down this time. It was peaking so bad that I couldn't even hear the quality of his voice.
I still think he's got something in his voice, but I think he needs training. And yes, the mic was a really big issue. It was way too hot. He needs to learn how to mix it down a bit.
Yeah, but could you really hear his voice quality over the peaking?
In certain points you can, but like I said, the mic was just way too loud. It got way too distorted. He needs guidance guidance on mixing, I think. He needs to learn how to turn the mic down. Like if he's got like a mixer or if he's using Audacity, that's something that could be easily fixed. There is a tone there. If you listen carefully, there is some tone there that I do like. I just don't know if he's ready. I think he needs a lot of training.
Yeah, and on that note, I know that at least one of the mentors has mixing experience, but I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't want to put this on one of the mentors. But you can try asking the mentors if they can help you with mixing. That's also a tip if you're a beginner.
One thing that I do want to know, and I want to know this from Mark. What did you think of Gabriel? Just because he was so hard on Gabriel the last season that Gabriel entered, I kind of want to know what he thinks of Gabriel now.
Well, I think he's taken everything that I was saying back then on board and turned into a completely different singer. In that entry that he's just put in, that nasal characteristic that he had and has always had was there in abundance, and maybe more than his very first entry, but his voice has opened up so much more. It doesn't sound the same stifled voice that it was beforehand that kind of put me off to begin with. So I am well and truly drinking the Kool-Aid as far as he's concerned now.
Well, there you go. What do you think, since you were his greatest champion? What do you think, Petri?
Well, surprisingly, he was actually a maybe for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess I wasn't as impressed by him as some of the others. I mean, he doesn't have the power that some of the others have. So I'm kind of wondering, what else does he have to bring to the table? I mean...
Now, see, I'm kind of between you two.
Yeah.
I'm not quite as...
Yeah, because I feel like I have heard this from him before. It's not really bringing anything new to me.
I don't 100% agree with Mark that, he's extremely, gotten so much better. I don't necessarily agree with you that he doesn't have anything to bring to the table. I think he's improved a lot since the last competition, but for me, there were a few sour notes, and it's almost like he has a breathing issue where he's running out of breath as he's singing, which I think he's got to watch that phrasing and watch the breath control. But I think if he does that and he's not gasping for air so deeply, I honestly think that he probably does have a lot more to show us. I think he is greatly improved, and I think that he's deserving to go forward a little bit longer, in my opinion. So I'm kind of like half between, I'm a little more critical than Mark, but I'm not as critical as you. But I think it's so interesting. It's so, because last year, Mark was his hardest critic, and this year, and you were so for him. I mean, every single time, you were so mad at us every time we voted against him. It's weird. It's like topsy-turvy day.
Yeah, maybe it has something to do with that we heard him last season, because now we kind of know what he has.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering what else he has, and I don't feel like I have heard that from him. Something different.
No? Okay, well, we'll have to see what happens during the voting.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Hannah yet?
No.
Nope.
Oh, because I was going to say, for me, Hannah's got a very sweet voice, but I don't think she's competition ready. She sounds really timid and shy. She chose a big song, and she's singing it like she is terrified to express herself.
And she sung it a cappella. So
Yeah, but I mean, even for a cappella, especially for a cappella, I could see if you're scared of getting the notes wrong when you're singing along with the music, but to be scared of singing it on your own, I mean, look, if you're going to sing a cappella, you belt it out like you're singing in the shower without, don't be self-conscious. And she sounded so self-conscious, and that's just not, you got to be confident, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So,
like I always say. There were several contestants who sung Fly Me to the Moon this time, again. Well, that can be a great song choice actually, if you listen to Jill Jonsson's version, for example, a Swedish singer. You can look her up on Spotify. That's actually a really good version with power, which I think Claire kind of gave us. So that was, no, sorry, it wasn't Claire. It was Kelsey. So yeah, I really like that one. You don't sound as convinced.
There she is. Oh no, I was trying to find Kelsey. I was looking up everything, and I just found her. Yeah, the only thing I wrote down was I really liked it. It was very effortless, maybe heavy on the chamber room effect, but it was still pretty nice. I liked it.
I think she can be... Oh, what happened?
What was that?
Mark disappeared. Oh no.
Oh no.
I mean...
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, another one, it has to be a yes for me, but I mean, hearing a pitch that high was almost jarring to me. It wasn't particularly pleasant, but I can appreciate the ability that went into it.
Okay, we're approaching the end of my notes here, and I have one little jab still.
Oh no.
About Ace. This is actually the first time that I found an entry offensive. First of all, she ended with, "Fuck it, I'm messing up the first thing I do," or whatever it was she said. I mean, it wasn't serious, and it was short, and it was a cappella. I mean, from everything I'm trying to explain to everyone, I put time into writing the tips document and explaining all the instructions, and then they just go and do that. Yeah, that was kind of offensive to me. But what did you think?
Mark, do you have any comments on Ace?
Yeah, I think it might have been edited. Like, got the waveform and then just chopped some of the gaps out so that the timing made sense, but then it ended up sounding like it had just been glued together with lots of little parts. So I think I can see what was trying to be done with that, but in practice it just hasn't worked in the slightest, and then maybe could have edited out that last bit.
Yeah, and by the way, one sure way to make sure you are fucking up is to say, "I'm fucking up" at the end.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
That's yeah. And my thing is, okay, like, you know, I get this is an online competition. We're all kind of doing it, you know, partially for fun or whatnot, but there's a real prize at the end. And the best way to, like, you know, I mean, the point of a competition is to win the prize, and there is a real prize at the end. So please take this as seriously as we take it. I mean, yes, it can be fun, but you know what? If you're not serious about actually competing and trying to win that prize, there were a lot of other people who probably got no's because we wanted you in there, and that they could have been in the competition instead, who really want to try to not only showcase what they can do, but try to win the prize as well. So if you're not serious about it, you know, just don't waste everybody's time, because you knocked out somebody else that could have been in the competition that really did want it. So that's just my thing.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a shame because I actually liked her voice. She had a sweet and clear voice that I think she could have used.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Really
there was potential, but I don't think there was any seriousness behind it. Like, I don't think she took it as seriously as she just thinks, oh, it's just a, you know, maybe a fun online thing, and I don't have to, like, you know, do anything. I don't have to work hard or anything like that, you know. And it's like, you know, there's a prize at the end if you want. I mean, it's a free prize. So you either want it or you don't. And if you don't, then let somebody else try for it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect people to like this to be their everything, but at least don't say I'm fucking up at the end. I mean,
I know.
Just try to be
It's like,
a little bit more serious, okay?
yeah.
It's not much I wouldn't do for $100, to be fair.
Yeah.
So let's go through the list. What wouldn't you do for $100? What would you do for $100?
And I'm gone.
Well, where do we start? We could be here all day.
And I'm gonna be paying it, so.
Yeah, and I mean, and next year, like, if we get another season, you know, maybe I'll chip in so that the prize is even a little sweeter. Who knows? So. Ooh. So I mean, like I said, this is
very interesting.
Yes, and like I said, this is something that should be fun, but it's also serious because there is a prize, and so you want to put your best foot forward. You know, I mean, do you want your grandma to hear you at the end say, I just fucked it up anyway? So. I mean, like, do you want to share that with your family? If you don't want to share it with your family, you probably don't want to share it with everybody online who can watch this either. So,
yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah, so let's end with a positive note then. I'm actually really glad that Maria submitted in the end because she has one of my favorite voices. It's so smooth and pretty and so mature for her age. I really loved her submission.
You know what? I actually love Maria's voice. I thought it was a really good take on Lady Gaga's song. That was, you know, Lady Gaga, whenever somebody wants to do like Lady Gaga or Whitney Houston, I always kind of cringe because, you know, they're such big superstars. But I thought this was a very good version of it. Sometimes I think it's less is more, and all those additional voices could sometimes be a little unnecessary and sometimes a little muddled. So, you know, like I said, sometimes less is more. You got to learn how to mix it better if you are going to use all these different fun things. But other than that, I liked her her voice.
Yeah, I skipped say proper notes actually because it was right at the end when it came in and hashtag work and all that. But yeah, again, same thing, really good entry, an interesting take on it, very challenging song, very challenging artist to take on, and got to be proud of the effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the more, I think, successful covers of Lady Gaga that I've heard. So
one that I can mention actually that I think is probably worth it, because this is maybe a contender for the nicest thing I've ever said actually.
Oh God.
But Megan's entry for Norah Jones, it's rare that you see a cover where it elevates it beyond what the original was, but I think that kind of did. You know, she had that extra power in the upper register that you don't really hear in the original, and I think it lifted it and just added a bit of extra dynamic. Really, really good cover, flawless, and then added a little bit of extra as well. So yeah, I've got to give props to that one.
Yeah, I actually haven't heard the original, but I think her voice was really smooth and I was impressed. And actually, I was extra impressed because she was actually sick when she recorded it. Did you know that?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
No
wrote
way.
it. So that's
You know-
really good props to her. I mean, just imagine what
jaw
she's gonna
is
bring in the
like-
future when she's not sick.
I'm just, my jaw is still on the floor over Mark. I mean...
Yeah.
This has got to go down in history as the nicest thing I think he will ever say. so
It's
Megan,
a long season. I really don't hope so.
Oh my God, you've got to mark this in your diary, girl, because that is rare. That is rare. Wow. Okay, but you know what? I agree.
Yeah.
For once, I actually agree with Mark and with you. I definitely thought, that, especially, I didn't know, I missed the whole part about her being sick, but I just felt like it was effortless. I mean, it was a very, very good song choice for her, and I think she did it excellently.
Yeah. So now for the exciting part. Time for the voting. Are you ready to post them at the same time?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Mark! Did you give a no to Marcus? And Emma, how could you?
You gave a note to Emma?
Yeah, and Marcus. He was one of the best to me. He has such a unique voice. It was so light and airy and soulful. Mark, I know why you're putting Takashi through. He is your troll of the season. What the hell?
Yeah, standard.
Okay, Andrea and Mark, can you explain this to the listeners now? Can you explain
Explain what?
Takashi to the listeners?
I said maybe no.
Yeah.
I kind of, okay, you know, okay. Okay, you know what? Believe it or not, he's got an interesting voice. And I think if he got a better mic and learned how to mix, I actually think he could be a decent singer. I mean, maybe with some vocal lessons, I actually think there is something there. I really do think he's got a very interesting voice.
With vocal lessons, yeah, but is he
Maybe with vocal
competition
lessons.
ready
I mean,
now?
I said maybe no. I'm kind of leaning towards no, not competition ready. But I do think that he has got a nice tone in his voice that, yeah, it could be worked on.
Scott?
I think he came in really hot in some of the... No, you know what? I'm going to say no. I've got to make a cut somewhere. I have too many yeses, and some of them I just will not let go of. So I'll say no to him.
Okay, Mark, can you please explain Marcus to us?
Yeah, I
Why
can
did
try.
you say no?
So I'll be completely honest, I was hoping that you guys would be a little nicer than I was on this one, as it was okay. But I felt like it was lacking a lot of the soul from it that it maybe needed. And while it's a solid vocal cover, missing out on the emotion is a big thing for me as far as that's concerned. But I figured that I could say no to him fairly comfortably, knowing that you guys would put him through.
So you pulled a stunt there. You wanted us to say yes.
Yeah, it's kind of a no/maybe, and I feel like I need to say no to make a stand that there's still some improvement to be made, but I would have been sad if
Yeah,
he went
totally.
as well. So
Totally, but I still think there was soul enough for that song. He still had those high notes, and that transition to the high notes, I actually really liked it. It was a solid yes for me. And Emma, why don't you like the new Andrea?
I mean, what is it with Billie Eilish covers for a singing competition? I mean, that's not what her strong point is. And what is she, 17, 18? And some of the stuff she's coming out from a songwriting perspective is incredible and hugely moving and powerful. And you have to wonder what experiences she's been through. But if you want something that's going to really show off your vocal character, you don't pick Billie Eilish. You pick something you can show off with.
Well, this early, I think she can afford to not show off that much. I mean, she still showed quite pretty and smooth and light voice, an airy voice that I think is worth keeping.
Yeah, I guess that's a kind of discussion we can have now, and it makes sense. Maybe later on, not so much, but we've still got room to have some contestants show us what they can do.
Logically anime is one of my yeses. Why do I see I'm the only one who's got logically anime listed as a yes? I don't know why.
I don't hear you, Andrea.
Oh, sorry. I put my mic down for a second.
Here are all our votes. 13 3 yeses, 6 2 votes, 6 with 1 vote. So that means we have 19 who have 3 and 2 votes, and then we have to decide one from the 1 vote pile.
Yeah.
Sounds logical, right?
Okay, I'm still trying to figure out why does logically anime not in there?
Well, because he sounded tired.
Like, why has he only got 1 vote?
Kind of off pitch. There was no energy, and I just wasn't impressed.
What about you, Mark?
I had it as being pleasant, but lacking power, sustain, timing, and then the vocal was just far too far down in the mix as well. So I'm just putting a load of crosses due to various things.
I guess, yeah. I thought there was some promise there. When I was listening to it, in fact, I listened to it fresh compared to everybody else, I think. And to me, I think there's a lot of promise. What? I did.
I'm sorry, Andrea. I can't take you serious with that voice.
Wait, you could say you can only hear me with
I'm gonna
that.
try.
Okay. I can't help it. I don't know what's going on with Discord. Oh my god. I don't know what's going on. I tried everything. But again, I think logically anime had promise.
Yeah, definitely. His audition was much better than his first entry.
So do we want to knock him out now, or just somebody want to like...
Well, then who are we replacing? I don't agree with voting out Nico. He's basically Gabriel. So why did you like Gabriel so much better than Nico?
Well, I think the mic quality kind of pulled the song down. He's got an interesting voice, but without a good mic, it's like you said, he's like Gabriel in a way, except I think Gabriel kind of owns that nasality now, where he didn't really before, but he owns it this time, where it kind of sounds like part of his voice now, or it actually sounds more pleasant than it used to, whereas I don't think that Nico has actually owned the nasality yet. And Gabriel's got a better voice. So if we're gonna pick, hey, he's basically Gabriel, well, Gabriel's got a good voice and he owns the nasality, whereas Nico's got he's got a bad mic and he doesn't own the nasality, I don't know, that's kind of where I was.
Yeah, I found his entry more energetic and poppy. I actually liked that more than Gabriel's. He was a strong yes for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think, Mark?
It's a typical pop voice. Kind of like Gabriel's, but I actually thought his entry was stronger than Gabriel's.
Well, what does Mark think?
Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. It's lacking dynamic. Comes off very weak compared to a lot the standard that we're looking at. I can't see it. No way.
Okay, I don't want to talk down on Gabriel too much, but I am comparing Gabriel to Nico. So do you think Gabriel has more dynamics than Nico? Because I don't hear that.
I personally do. I mean, like I said, he's got this nasality in his voice, kind of like Barbra Streisand, where he now owns it and he's made it part of his character. While I think Nico, it just sounds nasal, like he's singing from his nose, and he doesn't really own it. It doesn't sound like, I don't know, it's kind of brings him down. 'Cause to me, this is exactly, Nico's in the spot where Gabriel was the last time he actually entered the competition, whereas the nasality was bothering me a lot. I don't think that he had, there was something missing, whereas now he's kind of, like I said, drawn that into his performance. He's kind of like got got that Barbra Streisand, male version of Barbra Streisand thing going where that just sounds like it's part of how he's supposed to sing. I don't know. It's more pleasant to me now. So I think Nico is where he was the last season, and Gabriel has kind of grown. And I think Nico needs more time to grow the way Gabriel did. And that's why I think I am more on the side of Gabriel, because I think he has grown, and I think he has started to own some of his little uniqueness in his voice.
Yeah, okay.
Where I think Nico still needs to grow into it, and he doesn't have a very good microphone. I don't know. I mean, that's me.
Okay.
I personally would rather see Logically Anime back on the yes side than Nico at this point in the game, if we're going to be honest. And like I said, it's not that I don't think Nico's got a good voice. I really do think Nico's got something, but I think he needs to grow the way Gabriel did. I think he needs time to kind of train himself and own the Nico-ness, where I don't think he's owning it just yet.
Okay, that's kind of fair actually. I mean, I do hear that Nico needs to grow a little bit, but I still thought it was good enough for the next round. But then again, you're gonna blame me for putting someone up to failure again if I do that, so...
No, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I can see your point. I can. I just can't reconcile saying that at this point, if we're going to compare him to Gabriel, that he's better than Gabriel. That I can't reconcile. I think he's got a good voice. I think he's got talent, but I think he needs a better microphone, and he needs to learn how to own everything that he has, including the nasality quality. Whereas I think Gabriel already has that now. He has already grown. He's already owned it. He's got a good recording system already, and I think he's got the energy. I think that you're missing something that I heard and that I think Mark heard.
Yeah, okay.
So...
Because he was really...
I don't know. That's me.
Because Nico was really the only one in the one vote pile that I really wanted to have in, so that was the only one I was gonna fight for. So does anyone else have any case for someone? Oh, by the way, Scott, this entry was really not solid. He was kind of stretching it when he sang, and the song choice was kind of weird because in his audition he sang really rocky, and he had more dynamics and more raspiness in his voice, and this time it was just not on par. So I actually had him as a maybe, but I ultimately voted him out. But I could give him another chance because in his audition I actually said he was one of my favorite voices, but I may have been wrong about that. What do you think?
Me personally, I remember writing in my notes from the initial audition process, and I still have them. I was torn between giving him a chance and then telling him to go and get more training and try again at another point. And in my notes, I said I'm still at that point where I think he's got a really nice quality to his voice, and he's got a lot of talent, but I don't think he's there yet. He came in way too hot. The verses should have been softer, building up to a chorus. There's still isn't much control, and he was a bit off tempo. I really think his voice is good, and I want to say yes, but I also want him to go get vocal lessons, learn that control, learn the basics, and then come back and really blow us away. So I kind of want to say no at this point. Have him do the training and then come back like Gabriel did. I mean, bringing Gabriel up again. And Trinity. Even. I mean, Trinity, she came back. Yeah. She was, she came back and she really blew me away. Not with, because I know she's grown, and that's kind of what I want for Scott. I want him to grow and then come back.
Trinity has actually auditioned for every season since season 2, and in season 2 and 3 she didn't even get in, and then she improved every season. And I think, well, I can't promise that there's going to be a season next year, but if there is one next year, then I'm actually kind of hoping that Scott can develop in this year and then maybe come back one time, because
that's what I'm hoping, because I think he's got a very good voice. He just doesn't have the control.
Yeah, and I actually have this feeling that if he would train for 1 year and then come back, he could actually win a season of this. That's how I'm feeling, because one contestant that comes to mind is Nathaniel. He also auditioned for YouTube season 1 and he didn't even get in, and now he is just one of the strongest competitors to me. So things can really change in a bit of time.
What does Mark think about Scott?
Well, I'm the yes.
Oh, you're the yes.
you're the
I'm
yes.
the yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was Petri who was the yes.
No, it actually wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I'm the yes, because I was worried to begin with about the kind of level that he'd pitched the verse at, thinking he hasn't got enough for the chorus here, but then it turns out they absolutely did have that extra gear in the locker, and it was huge to me. And I get the point that maybe it wasn't what we saw from him in the first audition, but he has that rocky element that we saw from the first time out, and then we saw something a little bit different where he took a hold of it and really smashed it out of the park when the rocky side of his game maybe wouldn't have been useful. So I was seeing a stack load of versatility from him already. Power, range, lots of good aspects.
I disagree because I don't think he brought the rock this time, because there was no raspiness in his voice this time, there was only strain. So
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
yeah,
Didn't fit for the song.
so maybe another song choice would have been better. We have our top 20.
Okay.
Feels good?
It does. It took a lot to get here because I screwed up.
A lot
and
of
I
issues.
admit that.
Yeah, and audio
That
issues
was my
and
fault.
connection issues. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to edit this. So are you happy with the top 20 mark?
Yeah, fine for me.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, guys. This was really fun and really bothersome at the same time.
This was, yeah.
Because of all the issues and because of Andrea's man voice. But
Okay. Sayonara.
sayonara, bitches. No, I'm kidding.
Sayonara.
Thank
All
you. Bye.
Thanks for listening. See you soon with the result. All credits are in the description. Don't forget to rate, comment, share, and subscribe.